Good afternoon, everybody. Just occurred. It's 5 p.m., 2 minutes after 5 to the Just Occurred show. This is Tuesday, Friday, October 2nd, 2020. And breaking news for today, breaking news from today, that President Donald Trump will have tested positive for coronavirus. Joe Biden, this is unbelievable, folks. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this in the bottom of my heart. That I never ever know. A few minutes there, Joe Biden, Joe Biden wearing a mask in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He was wearing a mask this afternoon. Okay, I couldn't believe when Joe Biden had wearing a mask, and he says he's going to deal with the virus when time comes. But anyway, this is just a scary, scary moment that we're always told this morning that President Donald Trump and his lady, his wife, well, lady Trump, Mrs. Trump, and do you know why? And do you know why they have to keep this? They have to keep Trump at home or probably into the hospital. They both taste positive. They both want to keep Trump and his wife at home from going to the White House. From the White House. Last night we all saw the Hope, who was with Trump, tested positive last night. And then now this morning we had both learned that Trump and his wife, Lady Trump, test positive for COVID-19. Although Trump, he may have symptoms. He may have symptoms. Boy, it really, really sad to see. Then Trump canceled all live events, canceled all campaigns. He canceled all campaigns. And I just wish Donald Trump a speedy recovery. I just go wish both Donald Trump, boy. Hold on just a second. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, no, not Trump, Mama. okay, for okay, I'm back. Now for all I'm knowing is Donald Trump who test positive for COVID-19, right? We all know the decisions that they just had. Now Joe Biden who that test negative for coronavirus. Nothing wrong with him. But why? Why would things will happen? Why would things? I mean, this coronavirus stuff, COVID-19, knows everything that people are getting sick. It doesn't make sense. When the doctor they had shown all the symptoms and they had shown all the stuff everywhere, everything that going, and that's not work. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. I know I never see Donald Trump wearing his mask. He never wears a mask. He was inside the White House. I know a lot of people don't wear a mask. Never people never social distance. This is what happens when Donald Trump get out of the crowd. He is doing it in a live space over and over. I want to know why, for other people around the world and here in the United States, would ask you to please keep Donald Trump and his family in our prayers. Oh, this is a very, very scary thing, and I want to read this to you for sure. It says this: President Donald Trump is explaining mere mind systems after he and First Lady Melania Trump test positive for the coronavirus. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows told reporters Friday the First Lady said on Twitter that she, too, has mild symptoms, but is overall feeling good. Trump will postpone or make vulnerable all of his previous scheduled campaign events, his campaign manager said Friday. Democrat nominee Joe Biden's campaign announced that Biden and his wife, Jill Biden, have both tested negative for the coronavirus. With 32 days until the election, the president's infection has upended the campaign. A fundraiser in Washington and a rally in Florida was scrapped, and Trump plans to remain in self-isolation at the White House. His campaign manager said all previously scheduled events involving Trump and his family will be postponed or changed to vulnerable events. Democrat nominee Joe Biden wishes Trump and the First Lady a swift recovery in the morning tweet. He is scheduled to campaign in Mexico on Friday. That was a few months ago. Now, Vice President Pence and his wife test negative, according to the spokesman. Photos and videos tracking Trump's movements before his positive coronavirus test. Sam Mike Lee, he attended Trump's announcement Saturday of his Supreme Court pick, says he has tested positive for the coronavirus and was isolated for 10 days. Republican National Committee Chairwoman Warren McDowell disclosing that she had tested positive and Biden leads Trump. Now, Biden leads Trump by 8% points, then essentially 51% to 43%. 51% to 43%. Now, according to Washington Post average of polls, Biden's margin is the same in Pennsylvania. The same in Pennsylvania, and so in other key states. 7 points in Wisconsin and Michigan, 5 in Arizona, and 1 in Florida. How to vote in those states? The Post guide to registering and casting their ballot. Now, here's the thing. At an outdoor campaign event in Michigan, a mask-wearing Biden said he taken 2 coronavirus tests after learning of Trump's diagnosis, both of which came back negative on Friday. Biden began his remarks offering prayers to Trump and the First Lady. I would like to start by acknowledging, which I'm sure all you do as well, sending my prayers for the health and safety of the First Lady and President of the United States after they test positive for COVID-19. He said, "This is not a matter of politics. It's a blessing reminder to all of us that we have to take the virus seriously. Taking it seriously," he said, means wearing a mask in public and means encouraging others to do so as well. Means having mask mandates nationwide. Trump has resisted a mask mandate and very shelter was one. So this is how it goes. We all know the debate, and the debate will be still going forward. Now, even after Trump, the first lady, and a senior White House adding a contract the coronavirus face mask will still be uttered at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House official confirmed that no changes will be made to its virus safety measures and that wearing a mask will not be mandatory at the White House. With Trump setting the tone, his enemy and supporters had excluded mask wearing, and as witnessing as Tuesday, Trump questioned during the debate whether they were affected, despite evidence that they are the best way to collect and slow the spread of the virus. At least two indigenous people who attended an outdoor event at the White House on Saturday when there was no social distancing, no well now. That's what happened just heard about this once for sure. Now, in the White House, there were no social distancing, no mask wearing, and lots of hugging and handshaking had tested positive for the coronavirus. Three reporters covering the White House have also tested positive. So this is unreal. This is very a dangerous thing. When you're not wearing a mask, you're not social distancing, you're not hugging, and you're not shaking hands. This is not a good thing to do. And yeah, yes, we've seen a lot of it. There was so strings going on in the White House, and Donald Trump knows it. And I know they didn't wear a mask, they didn't follow social distancing, and I know that sucks, really sucks, it really am. But and that's for sure. So for all the people out there, please wear a mask and practice social distancing. No hugging, no shaking hands. This is so this is so real. This is real and it's got to stop. Now, what Joe Biden can do is ask people to slow the virus down when you wear a mask. Every time you go out and wear a mask, and that's for sure. And Donald Trump knows that will happen. I see a lot of people inside because that time there were a lot of people at the Trump's campaign did not that was social distancing and they did not wear a mask. So some people do wear a mask and where they are. And yes, it is. Now that all three of the polls are testing positive. Now House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Friday that her prayers for Trump had intensified that he hopes that his possible coronavirus test will be a learning experience for the nation. Maybe this will be the moment where people will say, okay, mass, this cessation, treatment, Pelosi said during an interview on MSNBC. Pelosi said she has not been contracted by the White House by issues related to community or government. She got a coronavirus test Friday morning out of the Dallas of Carson. Her results came back negative in the afternoon. Her delivering chief of staff, Lee Hamlet. So we already know, for all we know, Joe Biden and his wife test negative. Pence and Harris, they all test negative. I hope Harris tests negative. Pelosi tests negative, except for Trump. The Trump family, although you can say the Trump family tests positive for COVID-19, you can see on TV. You can see me on TV. That's why I'm saying. Do you know what I'm just saying to everybody? Do you know what I'm just saying? People have tested positive, and you know every time when I go to work, I've been doing a test, and it says 97 and I test, it was just 97.5. I'm good. I mean, I'm all set. But now when I just heard this morning that Trump did test positive, maybe he can stay home and quarantine for like 14 days. That's all people can say. That's what people can say for sure. Stay quarantined all the time. That's what they say on the news. If you're crazy, boy, you might even go to Don Juan. Now, Melania Trump, right? Now she'll be okay, but they're both gonna be okay. And then it would get sick, probably. But what happens if Trump? Now, what will happen if Donald Trump gets sick, if he gets ill, and no, what might happen severely? I mean, everything everything seems to get worse for him. It's just getting worse for him. I had this in effect in the last now. Two things now you need to know this. Some things you need to know. Now now I just said this have to say that I won't be surprised. Now, still says the public very early Friday morning, President Donald Trump tweeted that he and his first lady Melania Trump had tested positive for COVID-19. That news came just after reports on Thursday that White House Senior Advisor Hope Hicks had tested positive. There's a lot. There's a lot. We still don't know at this point, including the extent of White House staff infected or the severity of the president's symptoms. For about a month until election day, this is an October surprise, to say the least. Now, the election is just 32 days away, folks. The election is just 32 days away. And I know everybody, and I know the president, they don't want the president to get sick. They really don't. They don't want the president to get sick, and that's what it is. I mean, don't go there. Don't go there. And that says the U.S. now they're saying the U.S. presidential election has been turned on its head. Now the sentence could have been written about in a number of months in a turbulent year in American politics. But nothing quite like this has occurred this year, this decade, this century. Just 32 days before the presidential election, Donald Trump tested positive for COVID-19, giving his age a steady fall. He is in a high risk category for complication from the disease. At the very least, he will have to quarantine while he is treated. Being the U.S. presidential contest, at least at his side, has been fundamentally avoided. Now, and the election campaign suspended. Now, the internet, let's go for this now. Now, let's go for this. The internet and complaints are absolutely the president's recent campaign schedule, which include visits to Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina in just the past week, is on indefinite hold. Now, Trump will essentially have socially on the trail, but given that he has relying heavily on his family and Senate administration and campaign officials for such tasks in the past, and many of them may have to quarantine because they are exposed to the virus. The operation will be disputed as well. Even the next presidential debate, town hall format running down his questions scheduled for October 15 in Miami, Florida, is in doubt. Perhaps the event could be confirmed in a video conference, but that will largely depend on the president's health at the time. Or at this point, there is no serious talk of lowering the election schedule, which will require an act of the Congress and passed by both the Democratic controlled House of Representatives and the Republican House Senate. And it says, how would this affect the polls? Then there are the targeted in places. Despite the fundamental trauma this year, the pandemic and resulting economic distortions, the nationwide demonstrations against influenza racism and police brutality following George Floyd's death and sometimes violent arrests in several major U.S. cities, the countless moral crises and controversies that seemed like a daily occurring during the Trump bills. This presidential race has been remarkably stable. The Democrat Joe Biden has held and sent over the president for months in national polls, where a smaller but still notable advantage in key swing states. Time was running out for the president to change this dynamic even before this week's dynamite news. Now this is what is going on. This happened. And now it's just continuing. This coronavirus is taking down toll. And it says, at the president debate on Tuesday, so, so always don't know. It's sad to see it. It's sad to see it continue advancing. And the problem is for the people. The problem is for the people outside the Trump's campaign over there. People didn't social distancing, didn't practice social distancing. They didn't wear a mask. They didn't hug. Although they were hugging, they were shaking hands at the White House, and that's a, that's not a good idea. I wish Donald Trump for the best. I wish him well, and I wish him a great recovery. Now Trump is in his fight for sure. Now the update on Trump's health is I don't know. I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Now it says President Donald Trump's health could be a factor for markets in the week ahead. Investors focus on how his illness might impact the presidential election. Whether Congress can agree to the presidential now, President Donald Trump's health and the state of financial stimulus package will be the main focus for the markets in the coming weeks. Now, they don't know, and people don't know, and the stock market don't know. Well, they all know that Donald Trump had passed positive, and doesn't make any kind of sense. It just doesn't make any kind of sense when they were in the White House. And when you're in the White House, you test positive, and then you get sick, and then you can't go in the White House when you're sick. It's all about staying in the White House. And the worst news is coming. It just came out. It's just getting worse. And I'm praying for the Trump family. Now, the Washington Senate president now, but we all know that he may be okay, hopefully. But if Trump's condition is getting worse, leaving the 74-year-old commander-in-chief impacted, the Constitution provides for allowing an authority to steer the government and his assets. Under the 25th Amendment, the president could notify House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and yes it is. And yes it is. And I can still believe what is happening, folks. I can still believe what is happening. It is what it is. Nancy Pelosi, in the age of 80, has tested negative. In this campaign, and I think Donald Trump, he has canceled the events, the campaign events. And that says now, Joe Biden said Friday, again, Joe Biden said Friday he is praying for the president and first lady after Donald and Melania Trump test positive for COVID-19, a study development that has impeded an already tremendous campaign. And Joe Biden tweeted now, Jim and I send our thoughts to President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump for a swift recovery. We will continue to pray for the health and safety of the president and his family. Democrats know they need to walk a fine line, but said Biden should pass a handful dollar with his campaign and prosecutor of the case that Trump butchered the coronavirus crisis. Even as he expressed sympathy for the president. Suspending the campaign will be a disaster to the country, and there is no reason to do it, says Ben LeBeau, former President Barack Obama. One of the judgment voters of Bacon is which candidate will have made a Maryland manager's response to the coronavirus and has leadership to lead us out of this national emergency, LeBeau added. While we should risk the president and have recovered, his diagnosis is a vulnerable discrimination of a failure of leadership at every level of this White House. Now, people knows that this this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing to be outdoors at night. This is not really be at night when you're the Republican. You're representing it. If you have 10,000 of people, we have inside control, like not wearing masks. And that's you did. And when you do, you do. And that's what Biden said. And that's what Trump, on this debate on Tuesday, when he's pulled his pocket, when he pulled his pocket, he got the mask in his pocket, and he said he had a mask. Well, guess what? I do have a mask. I always had a mask. I had a medical mask. That's a very time one. So, everybody, please keep Donald Trump and his wife, Melania Trump, in our prayers for today, tomorrow, and the next day. Now, what kind of election will come? I don't know. Maybe on November 3rd. It's still up in the air. First, that's going to be the end for the day. Also, like me on Facebook, like me on this YouTube channel, on the Joseph Crudup Network. We have all the videos and all the stuff going. And please subscribe this video. Till then, I'm Joseph Crudup. And also, have a great weekend, and I probably will see you Monday. See you Monday, everybody. Had a great weekend.